Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so in about in about 20-ish hours time, we should be getting the 9th anniversary banner going live. If you are curious, by the way, because I know a lot of people will ask, the anniversary part 2 should be getting our news on the 26th, and this banner will be here till the 31st. So if you really want to, maybe you're not hyped for the characters, or maybe you're just you don't have enough orbs to summon for both parts and you want to see what part 2 is, you can just wait. You can wait until we get the news. Should be the 26th. Maybe it'll be on the Monday after the 26th, like the 29th or something. I'm just guessing it's gonna be the 26th. So you have about 4 days to make up your mind. We'll see all the kits. We'll be able to understand exactly what they do. We'll be able to see the filler for part 2, etc., etc. So no worries there. It is completely up to you. But yeah, I'm going to be going over the banner filler, the format, etc., etc. Let me know down below if you guys are summoning. I should be going live for the anniversary as soon as it drops, maybe a little bit before. And yeah, I don't know how deep I'm going. I am mainly going for KENPACHI because he's KENPACHI. If I pull Gremmy, great. But yeah, we'll wait and see. So let's just hop right on in. So the characters are some of the best characters in the entire game. KENPACHI, he is a melee, a spotted killer at plus. I won't lie, I'll never say it, or I'll never disagree. I think the 2 killers would have been more ideal, either having a killer or a spada and then a Rankar or something along those lines would have been way better. But we'll have to see what they do with killer plus in the future. Hopefully they just sort of like, okay, let's just get them 2 killers. But it is what it is. Killer, he's going to be easily the best character for melee Espada. But if you do have Bruno Max Transcended, then obviously he's not as needed. But he will definitely perform way better than Bruno. If you don't know, he's a melee strong attack character. His normal attacks and strong attacks and special move all inflict weaken and last rate. He has the Ichigo, True Shikai Ichigo SA3. And then with his EX move, he gets a massive spiritual pressure boost, where it's an extra 100% SP boost. So he has the 100% SP boost on top of his 80% SP boost already, which is going to be absolutely insane. He has the recharge of 14%, also right here, so it's 100% SP boost, and then it lasts for 10 seconds, his EX move, keep that in mind. His innate skills is Sprinter +1, Havoc +20%, he has Innovator and Lacerator for every 5 seconds. His attainable skills, he has 100% Berserker, he has Frenzy 3, Devastation of 50%, increased status summon chance against a Rankars, he has Weakened Defense, Debilitator +5, he has Poise, he also has Poise Break, except for Brave Battles, which should be good in Limit Breaker, I'm pretty sure. I actually can't remember if that's the skill that breaks the big enemies in Limit Breaker, I really hope it is. Also, I remember saying I am not the biggest fan of Poise in this, but I think it's actually pretty good, considering this way, if an enemy lives from your strong attacks or you just miss, you won't get knocked out of your SA3. You'll still do it, you'll probably get hit, and you won't stay at full stamina, but it still isn't that bad. But I won't lie, complete status immunity would have been more ideal, instead of just weakened duration, but it is what it is. Weakened duration minus 100%. He also has Marauder, and then the SP boost of 80%. So he's easily going to be one of probably the hardest hitting character in the entire game. He also has a SA1 lunge, a full screen almost. It's like just barely under a full screen SA2. Apparently, I said it was a full screen in my video the other day, but people were saying it was a little bit less. But still, it's a very good range for his SA2. And then SA3, obviously, is the True Shikai SA3, where it has the double wave attack, which is really, really nice. I really, really like it, especially since he has Lacerate. So if you inflict it in Guild Quest, big enemies can't do their strong attacks and can't damage you, and you should most likely kill all of the little smaller mobs if you hit them with your strong attacks. So insane character, insane character. As for Gremmy, he is a ranged character with paralysis and drain on all of his strong attacks. He also has a weird SA2. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just different. It's a beam into a vortex, into a homing vortex, which is really, really cool. I like it, it's interesting. And then apparently his SA1 is also a beam. I thought it was like the Yuha SA1, where it's like a little circle in front of you, but it's a beam, apparently. So I like it, it's not bad. If it was just a regular double beam, I think it would be a bit of an issue, but since he has the homing vortex, he has really good crowd control, so I think it's fine. He has the EX move, where it's a boost and debuff range attack. It does really, really good damage. I believe it's a 40% booster and debuffer of attack, defense, and focus. really, really good. And now we can go into his actual skills. He has the Hollow Killer Plus ability. He's also tech. Kenpachi with speed. I forgot to go over that. So yeah, yet again, 1 killer, Hollow Killer Plus. Yet again, I would love if he had 2 killers, but it is what it is. His dual trait is strong attack damage plus 20%, and then strong attack recharge minus 12%. His innate skill is sprinter plus 1, havoc plus 20%, and then dodge hollow damage. I would have loved if this was long stride instead, because I don't understand the point of dodging hollow damage. I mean, I guess if you want to auto with him, sure, but I would have preferred just long stride. I don't know. Attainable skills, he has Berserker at 50%, Bombardment plus 1, he has Frenzy plus 3, Debilitator plus 5 seconds. He also has the Team Party Quincy damage to status element affected enemies plus 30%. The Ailment Reverser skill, so whenever he gets applied to the ailment, he still shoots it right back essentially and heals. It's still really, really good, but is that needed? Not really. It's kind of, I think it's just because they wanted to have him be more of an autoer. Like, this will just help him auto content, if I had to guess. And then he has Sharpshooter, and then Team Party Quincy strong attack damage plus 20%. So he's going to be a very good support, even if he eventually gets power equipped, which he most likely will later on in the future. When? We don't really know. Also, he's going to be a good side if you put him on the side of like a Masaki team, or whenever Bambietta is, or when we get a new killers or new characters like Lily Barrow, Askin, characters like that, or a new Asnot. You know, maybe part 2 will be Asnot, Rukia, and Byakuya. That is my guess for part 2, to be honest. He also has the increased status on chance against all hollows, so he's going to be absolutely insane in GQ when you're fighting hollow enemies. He has weakened defense, complete status immunity, which makes sense, the last one did, and then he has SP boost of 80%. I already went over strong attacks, never mind. So yeah, he's going to be absolutely insane, easily the best technique character in the entire game, and I think Kenpachi is the best speed character in the entire game. This is the banner. Overall, I think the banner is very good. My only gripe is Iba and Soifon, realistically. I much rather would have had the 7th anniversary characters in here, but I still think it's easily the best banner in terms of like character-wise, like kits, for me personally. As for the banner, it is a banner with a 50-step banner with a 25-step pity and a 50-step pity, and every 5 steps is a guaranteed 5-star. We're not getting the free first step anymore, but I don't care. We have pity. I'd much rather have a pity format than a 7-step format where you have 1 free multi, and then after that, good luck. I would prefer a banner with pity, personally. Saving an extra 150 orbs versus not having pity, I'm good. Yeah, I like the banner. Not bad. Mainly going for Kenpachi, but Gremmy is pretty cool. You know, he's pretty good. So yeah, let's go over the other characters now on the banners, so you can know if you pull them if they're pretty good. Also, I guess I should just say, to be honest, I think it is a very, very good banner. Is it a must summon? No, not necessarily. You could just have the characters like Kenpachi. If you have a melee spotted character like Bruno, even just like 2 out of 5, I think you can skip him if you want. If you have Unohana, she's the 2nd best speed character out of Kenpachi at this point. So you can still skip Kenny if you have those 2, in my opinion. Is he better than them? Yes, but you don't need him. You have a small chance at pulling him from tickets as well, so you can just save for part 2 and summon on the more limited banner. Same thing for Gremmy. He is easily the best technique character. Do you need him? Not really. He is the best ranged hollow killer, but you know, if you have Haruka or Asnot, I believe, or 8th anniversary Ichigo, I think you're fine. They do well enough, but Gremmy is just far superior. It's the power creep of the anniversary. It's up to you, really, realistically, how deep you go. I think 10 steps is more than worth. But obviously, it's up to you. Do you need these characters? Do you want them? Do you want them because they're your favorite characters? Yeah, I mean, it's up to you. I'm personally just going until I get Kenpachi, and then I'll see how far I am. If I'm like 5 steps, maybe we'll go to step 10. Who knows? But it's very iffy. I want to just say go 25 steps, but obviously, if it's not your favorite character, you don't want to summon. That's like the biggest gripe with this banner, is that it's the character selection. So if you don't care for the characters, you don't have to summon, you know? Save for part 2, you know? Save for a potential part 3 if they want to do it. Because last year they did with the Kyoge, Bambietta, and Eburn banner when they first added pity. So, you know, it is what it is. Go if you want. For Rukia, She's a very good Espada melee killer. The only downside is that she didn't get a boost. I really wish she had a SA2 boost, because then it would have completed the overall week, because melee Espada, we had Bruno, and then we had the Power Aizen, and then we would have had her with an SA2 boost, because I believe it's Dordoni is the GQ booster right now, and he's an SP character, not very great. He's decent, but if she had an SA2 boost, I think she would have been much better, but she's still good, because she's a premium character. You probably skipped her as well. And then the Aizen is a limited time character that took me a while to get. Maybe you don't have him, and I think she's better, unless you obviously have more dupes than the Aizen, then she's kind of whatever, but I do think she is better than the Aizen, so hopefully you end up pulling her if you don't have her. But yeah, just a GQ side character that I highly recommend doing guild quests, by the way. Adds up to a lot of orbs over time. Wonder-wise, basically the same exact thing, except I think he's actually not as needed as like the Rukia, because like the Rukia melee Espada is very difficult, especially if you have a low dupe Bruno. But Wonder-wise, he's in a GQ where they already have a booster, to my knowledge, and then they have Yuha. Yuha is more than enough, so he's not as needed, but he's still very good, especially in Nightmare. So if he like gets up on the bosses, he's gonna do very good damage. Basically, just yet again another very good natty character. She has more damage to killer, you know, flurry +1 or 2 in GQ. 40% bruiser. Would have loved it to be more like the Candace that we recently got, but he's a mid-month premium. It's fair enough. Nad. Also, the Link is also very good if you ever end up using a different mind Nad character. Like I believe the Shunsui, Parasol Shunsui is mine, so you know, pretty good Link. But yeah, and he also doesn't inflict status ailments, so you don't have to worry about him proccing ailments while you're trying to, so that's also a very good thing. Like the Rukia could possibly proc freeze, which is pretty annoying, you know, so I think Wonder's voice is better in that sense, but yeah, not a bad character. Iba, I will say he is the only SP character that is a ranged Terminator killer, so there is that. Outside of that, his damage is okay. He has more damage, more power attribute story damage to status summon affected enemies plus 40%. There's a berserker of 40%. Damage to weakened enemies. Whenever you inflict weakening, you do more damage. It's just unfortunate that his barrage has a barrier. Like the barrier is nice, but because it's a barrier, he can't have weakening on it. So you're not going to be applying that weakening to them, since weakening lasts like maybe half a second in guild quest. It's pretty unfortunate, and he only has frenzy of 1. He does have multi barrier, you know, guard break. And yeah, very mediocre kit, if I'm not gonna lie. Like his barrage attack is cool and all, but like it's not gonna keep them in place. They're probably gonna jump out of it or just get pushed out of it. It's not that great. Hopefully for part 2 or maybe in August we get a better ranged Terminator killer, but we'll have to wait and see. Ruruka, really good range hollow killer. She does have some killer bonus effects, which I will go and pull up. Alright, so for the Ruruka's killer bonus, at 10 enemies defeated, she gets 20% more Berserker. 25 kills, she gets 20% more full stamina damage. And then at the 50th kill, you get 20% more increased strong attack damage to your entire party. Pretty good. Not near as good as Yuha's, but it is a pretty good boost. So that's mainly all you have to do. Just get 50 kills, and she's going to be really good. She's already good beforehand, but like she gets even better. She has Berserker of 40%, Devastation of 60%, Fire Duration minus 100%. She has Frenzy of 2, so she has more hits on her strong attacks, a higher chance of proccing her status elements. She has Guard Break, Havoc plus 20%, Long Stride, SP boost of 80%, Strong Check Recharge minus 12%, and she also has Weakened Defense. And then she has some innate skills. Team Party, 20% stamina recovery, chance to inflict drain every 5 seconds at 12% every 2 seconds, and then she has Sprinter plus 1. So yeah, really good character. One of the best heart characters in the game. Also her soul trait is damage inflicted at full stamina plus 30%. So yeah, good character, but unfortunately Gremmy is probably going to power creeper for this GQ, but it's fine. Moving on to Swaifan, I think she's okay. But mainly what she's used for is this, the Team Party technique buffs right here. Team Party technique attribute character strong attack damage plus 20%, and then technique attribute soul reaper damage to status summon affected enemies plus 40%. So if you're using like Ichibei or the Safui Toshiro, she is going to be one of the best boosters alongside the Swimsuit Jushiro. very, very good damage. If you bring those two, you're gonna make the technique character go absolutely insane. But other than that, she is this Berserker at 6%, full stamina only, increased strong attack damage plus 40%, debilitator of 5 seconds. She also has Paralyze, and with her Planted Vortex, if she drops it correctly, it's pretty good because it's gonna keep the enemy in place for quite a while. It's an okay strong attack kit. It's nothing crazy, but it's not terrible. I've definitely seen worse. So the character is good. Mainly as just like a side buffer in GQ though, kind of like the Atcons in last year's anniversary. But yeah, good side character in GQ. Neliel, absolutely insane normal attack damage character. I think the second best normal attack damage character. She's a ranged captain killer, which is very needed. I hope we get a better lead coming up this year. She has a normal attack damage soul trait of 30%. She has an SA2 boost that's also a barrier, which is really nice. No status summons as well, so you don't have to worry about her inflicting anything. She has team party speed attribute character normal attack damage plus 20%. She has the booster of 30%. Complete status immunity, not shared like the Maid or Hime, but still a good one, so you don't have to worry about her being frozen or anything. If you bring her into a GQ she's not meant for, just as a regular booster. Enhancer plus 10 seconds, so that makes the SA2 boost be a 43% attack, defense, and focus bonus. She has Flurry plus 1, Gauge Rampage plus 1, so every single time she gets killed, she increases her gauge. She has Multi-Barrier plus 2, Start Gauge plus 70%, except in Brave Battles, and then Strong Attack Recharge minus 12%. And then for her gauge effect, I don't know why I always think it's attack boost, but it is, she gains an extra flurry, and then she gets the decreased damage taken minus 30%. Really wish she would have gotten like 80% attack or something. I think that possibly could have made her better than Aizen, but unfortunately she didn't, so yeah, she's not better. But she's still very, very good, just not better than the Tech Aizen, which is kind of funny considering she dropped over a year later, but it is what it is. Now moving on to the Rukia. She's a ranged Arrancar killer. She's a very good character. I like her. She's usable basically everywhere unless Limit Breaker rules cuck her, where you get ×2 range damage or melee damage or something. Then she's absolutely cooked. And in Guild Quest, she's okay. She's not awful, but essentially because of her SA2 being classified as a melee attack, she has 1/3 of her skills, so you're basically doing 1/3 of the damage, even with the insane amount of skills that she has, like skills set wise. She has strong attack recharge time minus 12%. She has team party power attribute strong attack damage recharge minus 20%. So every time you go through a room, you get your strong attacks back faster. She has damage inflicted at full stamina plus 20%, damage to frozen enemies plus 40%, debilitator of 5 seconds, frenzy plus 2, havoc plus 20, healer plus 30, a very mediocre skill. I kind of just wish she didn't have it. Kind of wish she just didn't have this SA2 heal. Increased status summon chance against technique attribute enemies plus 10%. She has a very good chance of proccing her status summons. Frenzy plus 2, increased chance. Rampage plus 2% as well, so at 50 kills, she's going to be at 100% extra damage. Sharpshooter, and then status ailment, spiritual burst boost plus 80%. She probably would have been the best power character up until Mugetsu if she didn't have this SA2 melee. And she might even be better than Mugetsu, possibly because of Rampage. But I think Mugetsu's strong attack kit just kind of pushes him past. But yeah, this melee really, really cucked her, and I'm not gonna lie. For her innate skills, by the way, it's freeze duration, medic, and spiritual plus 1. Why does she have so much healing in this kit? It makes no sense because she's never been a healer. It actually angers me so much how much this one SA2 just kind of makes her very annoying to use in Guild Quest. Like, I have her 2-5, and I cleared, like, it was either Very Hard or Nightmare, I can't remember, but I cleared with like 5 seconds left. It was not very fun. Moving on to the Toshiro. Right now, probably the best range Quincy killer if you have the supports like Shinji and Akon. He has the strong attack recharge time minus 12%. He has a freeze attack on all of his strong attacks, and then his SA3 is the trap mechanic, and then he has an SA2 barrage. So basically what you would probably do is drop the SA3, get the freeze on the enemies, and then drop your SA2 and just cook like all the enemies in your area in the vicinity, and hopefully you kill the boss. Berserker plus 40%. He has damage to frozen enemies plus 40%. Debilitator of 5 seconds. Frenzy plus or frenzy plus 1, devastation of 40, guard break and hit hidden enemies. He has killer effect plus 30 or plus 50 in GQ, range damage plus 10 or 30 in GQ, sprinter plus 1, and an SP boost of 80%. And then for his innate skills, he has damage inflicted at 20%. When you're at full stamina, havoc plus 20, and weakened duration minus 100%. So he's going to be an absolute powerhouse, especially now because we have the killer sticker, so he'll be even better than before, which is going to be really good. But yeah, really good side character in the banner. And then we have Ichigo, 8th anniversary Ichigo, probably still one of my favorite power characters. Unfortunately, he definitely got overshined because of the Mugetsu now. But for me personally, my second favorite power character. Not saying he's the best. I'm just saying he's my second favorite. He is a ranged, hollow, and no affiliation killer. He has strong attack recharge time minus 14%. He has weakening and drain on all of his strong attacks. Damage inflicted at full stamina plus 20%. Debilitator 5 seconds. Devastation plus 60%. He has a frenzy plus 3. Havoc plus 20. Hit hidden enemy chance plus 100%. He has increased status element chance against technique attribute enemies plus 10%. So basically you're always going to be proccing weakening and drain and non-stop, which is basically what allows him to auto IT even at 1 out of 5. Even without drain he can still do it, which is insane. Shared complete status immunity plus 100%, and then sharpshooter. And then for his soul tree, he has 100% chance to hit dodging enemies of any affiliation. He has poise and sprinter plus 1. So yeah, not an insane heavy hitting damage character, but a very consistent and reliable character to deal with any content that's just not like Nightmare GQ, to be honest. He does find him very hard, but Nightmare definitely, I don't know if it's possible unless he's max transcended. As for White, still an absolutely insane character, probably top 3 or top 4 mind characters in the entire game. He has Soul Reaper and no affiliation killer. He's a melee killer or character. Unfortunately, he got overshined by the Yatru Unahana for Soul Reaper week, and even Trushigai Ichigo for that week. And then Yuha outshined him for the no affiliation melee week, which is unfortunate, but he's still very good. If you do pull him, maybe you don't have those limited time characters. This guy's a premium character. He has strong attack recharge time on his 12%. He has lacerate and drain on all of his strong attacks. Very good combo. And then he has team party mind attribute character movement speed plus 30%, and then mind attribute character special move damage plus 30% for the team. Bombardment plus 1, damage to drained enemies plus 40%, damage to lacerated enemies plus 60%, debilitator plus 2, frenzy of 2, havoc plus 20%, increased status element chance against heart attribute enemies plus 10%, SP boost of 80%, and weakened defense. He was easily the best character in the game when he dropped, except maybe, I guess you could say Yamamoto, I guess, but I think White was better, to be honest. I honestly think White was better. The only downside is that I guess he has 2 like lunges, kind of. It's like a double kind of lunge in his SA1 and his SA2. But he was still absolutely insane. He was really fun. But yeah, nuking with him was so much fun as well in the hard GQ meta days. But now, you know, he's still great. It's just he got power crept. And then his innate skills is probably my favorite terms of innate skills, where they give him all status immunity. Long stride would be better here, but then sprinter plus 3, but you can just give him long stride, so it's fine. So yeah, very great character. If you pull him, huge pull. But yeah, I think that is going to be it for this video. Let me know if you're going to be summoning. I recommend summoning, I'm not going to lie, but obviously if the character choice isn't up to your standards, or you just don't care for the characters, just because they're meta doesn't mean you have to summon. This is a very casual game unless you are, you know, trying to push into a very good GQ. If you're trying to push into GQ, like high GQs or high guilds, then you're probably going to need these characters, because when's the next time we're going to get a good one? Because when was the last time we get a good melee Espada killer? I think it was literally Bruno, unless there was one I just never summoned for. Gremmy, we've gotten a few range hollow killers, but, you know, Gremmy is just night and day difference. So yeah, that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you guys have an absolutely amazing day. And if you guys do summon, hopefully you guys get very good luck. Remember, I will be streaming when it drops. Take care. Have an absolutely amazing day.